Hey, welcome back to another episode of Fiction Fellowship. It's been a while since I've been on here because I have been reading some books, but they haven't been too great, so I haven't really wanted to do any reviews about them. But I've just finished a great book, a 4-star book for me called Candy Apple Kisses. This one is by Amy Clipston, and it is a clean romance. It just came out on July 7th, and I loved it. It was a 4-star book for me, and okay, let me get you in the mood. Right now, here it is about 100 degrees in the summertime, but let me get you into the mood because this book takes place in the fall at an apple orchard. So you smell the caramel apple, you smell the apple pies, you smell all that good stuff. So now that you're in the mood, let me tell you about the story. So Emily returns to her hometown of Splendid Lake in North Carolina because her childhood friend Jake needs her help. So Jake and his mom and dad, they own a family orchard, and it's been around for about 100 years, and a neighboring orchard just sold out to a corporation. And so this corporation is kind of wanting to put his family's orchard out of business. And Jake is trying to figure out what is he going to do to save his orchard because he wants to take over it from his dad. He thinks it's about time because he's about 30 years old now and he thinks he's ready. So he's thinking, what do I do to kind of amp up everything, you know, to kind of put a new spin on things, to get more people to come, because the corporation, you know, they can lower their prices, but his family owns this orchard, and, you know, he has to pay the employees, you know, he has to pay for the upkeep and everything, so he kind of, he can't go as cheap as they can, of course. So he's trying to figure out what he can do to kind of put a new spin on things, and he wants to have like a big celebration to kind of have like a 100th anniversary celebration. So he invites Emily to come back down to the hometown to for her to do some things with the party. And he called her because she had been there, you know, her whole life and grew up there, and she's very creative, so he thought that she would be a great person to contribute to this new celebration that they're doing. So Emily gets there and she realizes that they need to kind of like revamp the barn, and because the barn is kind of falling apart, but she has this vision that if they revamp the barn and have like a market in the barn, that she can get all these vendors to come and really put a fun spin on things and gonna give it like a new life. So she starts doing things with Jake, figuring out what they can do, and she has always had feelings for Jake. She always wanted to be more than friends, but Jake had a girlfriend named Claire for a long time during his life. But now Emily realizes that Jake has called it quits with Claire. He's kind of like getting to the point in his life where he realizes that they weren't really meant to be, and that she isn't the one that he wants to spend the rest of his life with. So a couple weeks ago, he had called it quits with Claire. But Claire is this person that she doesn't take no for an answer. She is the opposite of Emily. She is like real prim and proper, kind of stuck up, you know, kind of full of herself, just a complete opposite of Emily. Well, when Emily realizes that Claire and Jake had broken up, she feels excited, you know, because she wants to tell Jake that she has feelings for him. And so Jake has told Emily, yeah, Claire is out of the picture. I've already told her that we're done and everything. She's out of the picture. Well, a family scare happens in Jake's family, and now Claire is back, and she's back with a vengeance. Emily is not happy. Claire is trying to weasel her way back into Jake's life again, and then it just gets so messy. Claire's character, I cannot stand. She just drove me insane, and she turns out to be psycho. She turns out to be so delusional. I can't tell you what she does, but it's crazy. You will just have to read the book because you will be so surprised at what she does. Crazy. But I loved this book. It just felt like a Hallmark movie. Hallmark really needs to make this book into a movie. Like, the setting is just wonderful. I loved everything about this book. So you need to read this. It just came out July 7th, so check it out, and we will see you next time on Fiction Fellowship.